The people they hear me, Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A brownie cutting, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Boy, that they gonna know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only come for the money bags, and I don't really wanna be famous, man.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jameis going to look to throw right away. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackled by Darrell Taylor. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. Finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. The way you press the hole, absolutely perfect.
First down, Winston. To the right side to Eric Ebron. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd down. The Saints had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. And they come in losers at 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Winston. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, they started the drive back to pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, getting to field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And, Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go at their own 25-yard line. Here's Walker to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. You got to shake that off and get going.
Block working out of the gun. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, the Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Jameis to throw it. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down, even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
On 3rd down, Winston. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Out left and hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. Demario Davis there on the stop. Now it's 2nd and 9. To throw it is Locke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll give him 8 that time. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
With the score, Saints 3, Seahawks 0.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Walker. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Locke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They'll try and run Walker. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. Myers' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it, a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Jameis now on first down. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Will locks on for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On play action, Lock. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 32 on the play.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner. Great touch on the football, and they turn.
Walker hit and the ball is out. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball with the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop it right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing on second down, Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And spins away. Once more the juke. And this will wind up as Saints first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
It's a free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 2nd and 7. They fake the handoff, now lock. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. And 2 here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Meanwhile, Winston's looking for Olave, and he's got him. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play.
The receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned last week they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed in the history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the 1st down.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Winston. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Winston. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them, Both sides will be thrilled with that.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Well, they trail by 3, and they just got 3 yards to start the third quarter.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A second down pass play now, but it's incomplete.
So now running up to their partner because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Smith.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Dante Hightower. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked on by Fabian Moreau.
And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
On 2nd and goal, Smith, the quick slant caught. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now, despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down. as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown. Offensively, are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
All square now at 13-all as he sends this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans. Rolling along here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10.
Kamara up the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark it down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On play action, Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Walker now on 1st and 10. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And there was some of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick and a big turnover. His guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That one is blown up by Jordan Brooks, the linebacker.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
First try for the right arm of Dalton here. And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
On second down, it's Walker. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Block going to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Lock fighting Metcalf for the Seattle first.
And the Seahawks first down.
Now Lock going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout.
And some space here. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes this a 9-point game.
22, Saints 13. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Taking it about the 1. On the return, Deontay Hardy. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
Jordan Brooks with it.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be 1 step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you see it in their body language. maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This is the tight end fan. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. They look to throw. It's Locke. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter. Locke going to try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to Walker on 1st down. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Walker with another carry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Straight ahead, Walker. 122 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
Again, idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 24.
37, Saints 13. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. There's Kamara trying to run for him. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10.
That's good for a Saints.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they take a knee.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Seahawks, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.